Oh
Should have
baby, oh baby, it's live.
Hello. Hi, hello, what's up?
What is going on, everybody? We're a little behind schedule, not by much though. We just missed it by a skosh. 3
3
minutes.
minutes.
Still
think
late,
that's
Devin.
our-
That's late.
I know, sorry.
I know Rock doesn't have to be anywhere on time, but we run on time over here.
I know, sorry. Rock can take it sweet ass time, not today.
Yeah,
Not
it'll be there when it gets there. All right, back off.
Yes, it'll arrive when it gets there. It has to be crushed and polished.
Fresh.
Traffic,
freshly.
sorry. There's lots of traffic on Beltline.
Yeah, well, when you have a 2-lane system in a growing town, or 4 lanes technically, but that's not
It does
enough.
have 4 lanes. Yes. I did see Garen today. He passed by me. Oh, and I saw Janice too.
What? Were you out in Springfield?
Yeah, I was on Macola.
Yep, that would do it. Sounds
I see
about
Garen
right.
all the time. I'm like, oh, there he goes. Oh, there he goes. Oh, bye. If I'm not close
Making
enough
service,
to say hello.
going E2, going back and forth. It makes a lot of sense. It's saving money.
It's just circles. I drive in circles all day long. That's not that bad. It's pretty cool.
Well, we got one already in, so somebody was on time.
Hey.
I don't know who it
Hey,
is,
what's up? Hello.
Yeah, thanks for jumping on. I think we're about ready. You got everything situated over there? We got...
Yeah. I'm doing a little differently
difficulties.
today. Yeah, my pod track decided didn't want to hold my tracks, my segments. So we're going old school.
Your track. The pod track didn't hold the tracks. Oh,
yeah.
Man.
Pod track is not having it today. I was like, no, I'm not playing nothing for you, lady.
You need to email Zoom and fix that whole problem.
I know. I'd be like, you guys just need to build me my own podcast studio, and we'll call it even.
We get enough donations, you get a fancy board like mine over here. You can have all these fancy colors and all this.
I do. I'm running out of buttons. I would like to have more.
Dude, right?
I'm like getting excited with like, let me play this for you guys. Or look at this, what I found.
Oh, yeah, man. I hear you. I'm even running out of buttons. I'm like, man, I need this here and this. My desk is getting too small, or I'm getting too big for my britches. That's probably what's really happening.
But bigger is better, so it's okay.
That's what they say. All right. Let's fire this podcast off, and I hope we got a joke lined up. I didn't even talk about it, but
I did. That's the one thing I had ready today.
Okay.
Amateur.
Well, let's get to it then.
Hey, Kyle. Who hides in the bathroom during parties?
Who hides in the bath? Ooh, a party pooper?
Ah, victory.
That's it? I got it?
Yeah, the party pooper.
Hell yeah. All right, everybody, welcome into Light Tickle. I got a joke. Finally, it's been, what have we been doing this? Couple, 6 months now? Half
15,
a year?
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. It's about time I finally got one. I'm always close, but it's never just right. But that was
like around the tip, around the cusp, and you got it. Good job.
Easy over there. Come on now. Don't be. It's a little early to start throwing around jokes like that, isn't it? Sorry,
I'm just warming up, you guys.
If Mom's in the chat there. Sorry about that.
Oh, hi, Mom.
Welcome in, everybody. We have a good show for you tonight. It's another clip off between Devin and I. This is Light Tickle. I would appreciate everybody for showing up and enjoying the show. So I am Kyle Pickens from Knoxville, Tennessee. And
I am Devin Duarte in Eugene, Oregon. Hello.
And we'll do it live. And we're live on Facebook and YouTube for your visual
your viewing pleasure.
Yeah, if you want to check it out. I mean, I'm wearing the Tiger Red tonight because it's Masters Week. It started today, so I don't know if anybody's watching today. So I was gonna watch it, and I got wrapped up and stuff, and then I caught the tail end. But Tiger's like 54th, so he's trashed. So,
oh damn, that is kind of That's a lot.
It's not good. It's not good. I don't think you'll be seeing him in the weekend, or you'll see no red this week on Sunday. But I'm wearing it today. I love this kind of sporting event. It's kind of one of my favorite things to watch, which is, I know, golf, blah blah blah, pathetic. We talked about it last week. I don't want to go too far into it, but this is the Super Bowl of golf kind of thing. So it's a big deal for anyone that really enjoys the sport. So anybody out there is watching, feel free to shoot the chat kind of thing. Text me, whatever. I love to go back and forth with anybody about golf. So
we'll gossip all day about it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you saw what happened. You gave me a little bit, and I just ran off for like 20 minutes about golf, so we don't need to do that again.
That's pretty good
Devin,
though.
how's it going over there, Devin? Let's get into
Oh my
something you've been up to.
gosh. I know. Look at me. Well, hey, personal wins. I had a perfect month last month for closing all my rings on my watch,
Oh,
on my
what up?
Apple Watch.
Yeah, dude.
Mm-mm-mm.
That's because
So
you're
every
back in the
day
gym. Looking
hell
swole
yeah,
over there.
dudes. I do. Dude, check out my muscles.
I
Yeah.
know this shirt is like tight right here, so it's kind of just I got to keep the
Oh
arms.
yeah.
in.
So you know what you get it. You get it, man.
That's why you're wearing the
lifting
loose
those
sleeves.
weights.
Getting tight around the shoulders. One of my good buddies always said, "Shoulder by try." That's all you got to work on.
Oh gosh, don't forget your legs.
Oh yeah, especially you, chicken. You need some legs.
I know what I didn't realize I had such skinny legs. And Brandon's like, "Yeah, you have really skinny legs. Now there's some meat on those bones." And I was like, "Oh, well, thank you."
I don't know if you can just
trying.
like take the weight and shove them down your legs. It's not exactly.
That's what I would like to do. Like the weight in my belly, like I'm put on my butt, my thighs, maybe just a little bit more on my biceps, shoulders,
Yeah.
but mostly just put it down.
Yeah, can you slide down and give me some stellar calves and
Hell yeah, dudes, bust out my pants.
some sweet thighs? That's what we need.
Yeah, so that's for days. That's my goal. So yes, I've been hitting the gym pretty good. Getting my PRs. I bench pressed 90 pounds yesterday.
Whoa,
I was pretty proud of that. Hell yeah. And my
that's
squats
your
are
PR.
like
That's your best right now. Yeah, you've been doing it for a couple months now. 2 months.
Yeah, since like mid-January is when I started like really getting back into it, and so
right on.
This past March was like the best month I've had. I've down to my lowest weight of the year, which I'm freaking happy about. And my stomach's
like
getting all tiny.
Total weight?
Yeah, my body weight. So hell
Good
yeah,
job.
dudes. Thank you. Well, I wanted to congratulate you on all your new coworkers that you're getting.
Yes, dude, I've been getting blown up. Kevin called me, Mike Beck texted me. Everybody's just harassing me. I'm like, I'm not even at work this week. I know nothing. I'm off this week, so I don't care. I don't care in general, but yeah, go ahead and fill in the rest of the blanks if you want, because no one knows what we're talking about. Maybe.
Oh yeah, FedEx is merging. FedEx Express and Ground are merging by the end of or whatever next year at some point, which we all saw coming because it's all trash. So you'll have nice new coworkers in your building, or however they're gonna. I don't know how they're gonna do it, but it's gonna be done.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know how it's gonna work out. They're also moving. I saw LAX has one of the bigger West Coast mechanics bays for fixing the airplanes down there. They're gonna shut that down, move it over to Indianapolis. What? Yeah, so I'm like, if a plane goes down, one of the jets break down on the West Coast, I think they're just gonna probably pay the airport mechanics to fix it. I don't know.
Outsource it?
Must be. Yeah.
Interesting.
They're always trying to keep everything in house. So, and then the mechanics we have in the house for fixing our trucks, if you're going to bring in ground trucks, that's going to double the workload for the amount of space. So I don't.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I'm not too worried about it, because this plan is probably going to be like the E-Star plan and get put in and put out. Put in, it's going to be shelved, and it's going to be back. It's going to be.
You think so?
I don't know.
It's just so big, though. It's not as simple as E-Star. I just laugh
anymore. I don't
just laugh it off.
Yeah, the resume is updated, so whatever happens, if I have to go, I have to go. If I don't, I'll stay. I mean, it's nothing I can do. My opinion is, doesn't mean anything. So yeah, I don't.
It means nothing.
Yeah, I was said to my manager, I said, it doesn't mean anything what I say, so I'm just gonna walk around and smile and watch you guys pull your hair out, because you have to deal with all of it, not us. We just show up, punch a clock, do the job, go home. So
right.
I think fretting about any of that stuff, and I mean, I don't know, it's pointless. I got bigger things to worry about. We have no
power, and it's just exactly wasted thoughts.
And especially here, I mean, I have been actively kind of poking around at things, and the amount of money we get paid to do what we do there, and the cost of living was lower here. I mean, the cost of living sucks everywhere now. It doesn't matter where you're at, but the pay scale was the same as Eugene's, and it costs 10 times as much to live in Eugene. So I came here and didn't take a pay cut. I got to pay a raise for not having sales tax. I mean, income tax.
Right.
I have sales tax, which is kind of a bummer, but you don't buy stuff and you don't have to pay it.
Yeah, just be cheaper. I would be cheaper. Shoot. I don't buy that
so cheap.
Damn. So I'm growing on my shit and.
It's what I'm making there is hard to find. Everything's like $19 to $20 an hour, and that's pretty high, it seems like, around here. So I'm like, well, that's not going to work. I'm not going to step down unless it was something like working at a golf course, maybe.
Oh, that would be fun.
Oh, dude, that would be bad. I wouldn't make any money because my money would just go right back. Yeah, I'm gonna go out and play 18 after work. See you guys.
Yeah, like work all day. Okay, I'm gonna play now. Bye all day.
Yeah, that's not gonna
never
work.
See you anymore.
I mean, it's out of my control, and at this rate, I just take it day by day, and that's all. I think I've been watching a lot of the FedEx forums, and people are losing their minds about it. So I'm like, yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be interesting to see what happens. FedEx Express might go back to what it originally started was priority,
just like letters
overnight,
and stuff.
standard overnight. That's it. They didn't do all this E2 and all this other, home deliveries. It was businesses. That's what it was. So
right.
I just hope I'm not on the block that gets chopped. So
you might be. Depends what you're delivering.
I think the 35-year guys are probably the ones they got their eyes on.
Yeah. The good pensions and retirements.
Yeah, they're costing them a ton of money. So anyways, enough about FedEx. Let's move on. That's
sorry, guys.
I'm not even there this week, so I don't know. It's water under the bridge for me. So
I've never even heard of her.
Okay, good. I'm glad to hear you're getting back in the gym, getting back to who you were when I met you. You're all about fitness and health and
back into it.
Oh wait, go back to the thing you said. You texted me. You haven't had a drink. You drank once this week.
Oh yes, so this weekend I've been cutting back on drinking because drinking is really bad for you. Obviously,
come on, it's not that bad.
I know it's all right, and you gotta just pace it out. Like don't overindulge, and I tend to overindulge, and so we cut back. And then Friday night we didn't really do anything. Saturday, I don't know. I can't remember now. This weekend, it's a blur. It was so many days ago. But Sunday, we were trying to go to a show over at the McDonald Theater.
Yeah.
And so we were going to try to buy tickets from this guy that on Facebook, some cheap tickets. So we're waiting and driving over there, and he starts getting all fishy about it. And I'm just like, this guy's phony. Like, let's find some other tickets. And so we go to Starlight.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Starlight. And we get a drink there. I know.
Oh my gosh.
Where can you go downtown unless it's not like that. Like it's all trash at this point. But we went there to get a drink to kill time to find tickets, and then that was kind of a bust.
Oh man.
And it all ended up being a bust, which is fine. But I only had one drink this whole weekend. So
well, I'll drink to that. That sounds like a responsible thing, but tonight is Jameson night for this guy.
Yeah, making me thirsty.
Just a little ice, just keeping it nice. That's what
you're so fancy. Ice, keeping it nice. You're so fancy.
Yeah, right. Well, I just got cheap. I'm just like, well, if I want to get my best bang for my buck, don't mix it. Don't dilute it. Just put a little ice in there. That's good to
go. I have to mix it. Unless I just do it quickly.
That's where your calories come from. And mix it with that soda. That stuff is terrible for you.
Well, you can do the soda's not as bad as it's all, if I do drink, I try to stick to liquors and one mixture in it, like a soda or something, versus getting a cider or a beer that's all sugar and all. So at least I'm making responsible choices when I do drink.
So proud of you. Way to just, you're just growing up.
I should treat myself as a reward.
Yeah, that's funny. Well, is there any news, anything, any happenings that we are missing out on from last 2 weeks ago, I guess?
I don't think so.
As far as the podcast goes, I mean, I don't have any news over here, but
I don't think so.
Keep on doing what we're doing. We're getting a little more and more each time. I feel like we had some good chats last time, and I think Kaylee volunteered, so we got to get a hold of her, put her on. Yeah. And if anybody wants to step in here and kind of shoot the breeze and bring a little something that you care about, doesn't have to be political. It could be anything, really. That's kind of the beauty of it.
Conspiracy theories about aliens.
Yeah, that too. That'd be good. Yeah, flat Earth. Yes, please. That was triggering. I don't think we need that again.
Funny. It's entertaining as hell. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it was good. That was a good one. You got me. Blindsided me with that. So I'm excited to see what we got tonight. Should we just get right into what we're doing? I think I like kind of like you going first because you have a day in history, I'm sure, right?
Oh yeah, I do have a day in history.
So yeah, I think you have to go.
Okay. So this was something my mom and I always talked about growing up, and never really thought of it since then. And then I saw this on Instagram, and I was like, oh, it is a thing. So check it out.
Okay.
Have you ever heard the phrase, they don't make them like they used to?
Oh, tell me about it, brother.
Well, there's a reason why.
Why?
It's called the planned obsolescence, and it's crazy. Let's go back in history. So back in 1924 in Geneva, Switzerland, a group of elites met together. Do you know who these elites were?
White men?
Nope, not all of them. I mean, there were some.
Yeah, okay.
They're all the CEOs of these light bulb corporations.
Okay.
And they said, our light bulbs last too long.
They're too good.
And so from that meeting, they came up with a term which they called themselves the Phoebus Cartel.
Phoebus.
Phoebus is the god of light.
Oh, weird.
They got a bunch of ideas.
But they all agreed, all shook on it. Let's cut this in half. Make our
Deal.
light bulbs worse. And in fact, they all had to send their light bulbs to get tested. And if it went over 1,000 hours, that company was fined
Yeah.
because they all are like, we need to make crappier products to sell more.
Yeah.
And that term, planned obsolescence, was adopted to basically everything now. General Motors are going to make our cars not run as long, so they're going to replace metal with plastic. So screws, fastener of some sort that will wear out over time. And that's basically applied to every single product now.
Isn't there a light that's been on for like almost 100 years?
It's yeah, I looked at it. It's called the Centennial Light, and it's been on since 1901.
They're ripping us off.
I like that guy's voice.
I yes, I have heard about this. I think I even saw that thing, and I'm like, it doesn't surprise me. Sadly, I mean that's everything. Even refrigerators, wash machines, all that stuff is just getting cheaper
Garbage.
and cheaper and more expensive. Cheaper to make
Yes.
and more expensive for us. So
Right. Just got to keep buying it over
planned
and over.
obsolescence. I have heard that. I mean, that's been kind of going around for years, I think. But
Oh,
even,
yeah.
even our parents can say, "Oh, it's stuff's not made like it was for the grandparents." But I don't know.
Mhm. Yeah. We had this vacuum cleaner growing up that was just the ugliest thing. It was just fucking weird as fuck. But it was so good. It worked perfectly. Never had issues with it. The bag seemed to last forever. And then it just pooped on us on one day. And so we got a new one and it was just trash. Like the second we got it. And I was like, what the heck? This is brand new. It even works worse than our broken one. Like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah,
It's my mom would always be like, they don't make things like they used to. And I was just kind of like, no, yeah, whatever. But
it's true.
it's a thing. It's for reals. So
It is sad but true. I bought this really badass 12-inch subwoofer from Costco, and it wasn't their Costco brand. It was some other brand that they must have just brought in, but great subwoofer. I had it for years. I mean, any of my friends that listen to this can say we had movie nights. That son of a bitch shook the house. It was awesome.
bitch.
It was so
Love it.
good. And one day it just said, nope, not working anymore. I was so devastated. And I
Aw.
had a gift card from like Christmas or something as Best Buy. It was like $100. Most subs are like $150 to $250, depending on what you're trying to get. I went in, picked up their 10-inch one that they had that was their better one at the lineup, and I put it in the house and turned it on. Didn't do anything. Didn't shake the floor. I didn't feel it. I could hear it kind of. I said, well, this is junk. So I took it back, got my money back, thank goodness.
Oh, good.
And then I started researching around and found Jim's Electronics in Eugene repairs electronic stuff. And I said, well, that might be worth it to take it in and just have him take a look and tell me what it's going to cost. So he, I went in there and he checked it out. And he said, yeah, it's going to be like, $50 for labor, $10 for parts, $60 to fix this thing. And I said, okay, I only paid like $100 for it. So, that was also 10 years ago or whatever, 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's worth it to me if we get this thing working again. So he went in and just found the little tiny piece in the electrical board that went out, which I don't have the tools or the capability to do. Tore that out, soldered in a new one, worked good for another 3 or 4 years probably. And then it finally shat out. I was like, Jim's Electronics is gone. They don't have these people to repair anything. And when I took my stuff in there, that guy even said, he goes, you're an existing customer because I've been in there before. I'll take your stuff, but I'm not taking new customers because there's nobody that wants to learn how to do this stuff. I had a couple of young people come in here. They didn't like it. They didn't last. They left. So he's like, I'm working by myself and I don't want to be here, 50, 60 hours a week working on all this stuff. So he's like,
Right.
I'm going to retire. And then when I'm gone, this place is done. So the option is throw it away, go buy a new one. That's basically what he said. No,
Yeah. He's like, I'm over this.
yeah, man. And that's the problem. And he was probably, I don't know, probably around my parents' age. He was probably in his like maybe mid 50s, getting into the 60s. So retirement age.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm done with it. And there's nobody to take the torch of that to try to fix stuff and make it last a little bit longer by, I guess Band-Aiding it, because it's never going to be the same as it was, but That even happened to my DJ equipment. He fixed one of those subs for me too. So
Oh, really?
yeah, man, he was super great. I'm
Aw.
sad he left, but I get it. I mean, he's like, I've been doing this for decades. I'm done with it. So
Yeah. Huh.
But yeah,
I
that
wonder
whole
if Brandon
thing,
knows him. How cool.
yeah, I felt the planned obsolescence personally. It touched me. Touched me.
If you've been
Good.
perfect, how does that lawsuit thing go? If you've been personally affected by
Yeah.
obsolescence,
Yep.
call us at 1-800.
Exactly. Yep. Don't touch me like that. So, anyways,
All offended.
yeah, that's funny. That's a personal story that touches my heart. So,
Aw, you have DJs, I have vacuums. We've all been personally attacked by it.
yeah, well, vacuums are very, very important part of the house because
A
come
little
on.
bit, yeah. Floor's nasty. Ugh. No thanks.
All right, good one. That's a good one.
Thanks. I thought it was fascinating. I didn't know it had a name, so I was like, oh.
Now you're going to be looking for that. You're going to see. I mean, you've seen all the cars. Remember? I mean, even like my dad had a '94. I think it was a '94 Ford F1 250,
Hmm.
two-tone metal body. You know, and they don't do two-tone paint jobs anymore. Everything's you want a white car, you want a green car, you want a blue
Oh, yeah.
car. They don't do any cool
Simple.
kind of. Yeah, it's not. There's no custom. I mean, you really have to spend a lot of money to get a custom vehicle, but for the most part, you and I, it's just kind of like, oh, you want the gray or the forest green or what do you want?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
The three
solid
colors are
are lame, and the bumpers don't stand out. They're not chrome bumpers. They're just all
Oh, yeah.
all piece of the car now.
Mhm.
Anyways, I could go on and on, but let's move on.
Okay. Do I do my next one?
Yeah, because I got a two-parter and a one-part. So I got kind of I'll finish it off at the end here.
You got something political today?
It's something people inquired a lot about, and it's not FedEx. I can tell you that.
Okay. Because I wanted to do the veto thing, but
Veto.
yeah, the whole Biden veto.
I don't know about. I don't know.
Your
Well,
wife
maybe.
posted about it.
Maybe explain.
Oh, I don't know. That's why I was hoping you would.
Oh no.
say something. Well, so your wife, I'm very impressed with her Instagram. She likes to post stuff, and I'm just like, ooh, yes, feed it to me.
I know
And
she's great.
because everyone else has like backed off of it, and I'm just kind of like, like everyone's so easily offended now, hence like why
No.
I've kind of cut back a little bit. But it's refreshing when I see your wife post something, and she posted about that Biden did his first veto, and it was for like that ESG bill, and it's supposed to protect retirement plans, but it also gives something that that's what he's painting the picture. It's like, oh, it's saving retirement plans, but really it's doing something like with the environment, social, and I don't know. I guess we'll have to look into it and do it next week. But
Well, I haven't heard anything about that, but I do know. I think it's in France. They're having massive protests because they pushed their retirement age back like 2 years.
Yeah,
Macron.
I think you sent that
believe.
to me recently.
Yeah. So that's going on. I don't know if people here are trying to do the same thing, but you start messing with people's life plans like that. That might get people out in the streets and throwing some stuff around. So that does not surprise me. And that I mean, I don't care for Biden. That's not a secret, but that might be one of the smarter things he said. No, we're not doing that. We're not going to be messing with people's retirement plans and stuff. So just take that bill and,
yeah, we'll have to look into it because I don't trust that man. So whatever he's doing.
Right. Well, I mean, it could be, I mean, everything you can kind of think about it like a Trojan horse. It's like kind of look over here and we're going to slide in and then we're going to jump out and kill everybody. That kind
like
of
this
thing.
whole Trump thing. Just like, ooh,
yeah, man. Yeah, there's a lot of other things going on, but the news cannot help themselves but trip all over all that stuff. So it's
I feel like it's part of the distraction. Like, just focus on Trump, the bad guy. Let's put him in jail. Don't look at everything else that we're doing. It's like,
yeah.
Ooh, what are you doing?
Yeah, but now you're not hearing about Ukraine, right? That kind of.
Oh yeah, who? What?
Yeah, dude.
Ohio. That's not even a state anymore, right?
Oh yeah, there's that too. And then I mean, yeah, trans fighting, shootings, all that stuff. Yeah, whatever. We can move right on from all that.
Just over it. Whatever. Trump, or the Satan of the world. We gotta focus all about him.
Indictments.
That's what Jesus.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so I'm gonna take this. Well, I was just curious if yours are political because mine's not political, and I was actually
mine is, but not. But it relates more to where we're at today. So I mean, you're good. You go for it.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm taking total left turn. So, but it's not. Well,
hold on. Wait a second. Wait a minute. Wait for it.
You are fake news.
All right, I'm ready.
It's not fake news though.
Okay,
for
all right,
reals.
fine. I just had
Okay,
to throw it out
so this is about dreams,
there. Big ones, big
and
dreams.
like literal dreams, like when you sleep.
Oh, okay. Everybody does that, so I mean that's
Yes,
kind of
so
fitting.
everyone can have an. I bet people will have feel some type of way about this because I'm very fascinated with dreams. When I sleep, I dream pretty vividly, and I always believe whatever is happening, which is total nonsense. Like it can be like Walmart is Jesus, and we all live underwater, and I work at FedEx still because apparently I like to dream about that, and it all just makes perfect sense to me in my dream, and then I wake up.
Weird.
Yeah, and I don't know what it is. Like I want to say like I'm a gullible person, but I guess I am a gullible person, and so, but like in my dreams, it's weird. And so I recently had a dream where in my dream I was like, I'm not dreaming, and I pinched myself and went about my dream like like yeah, I'm not dreaming. This is the real world. And so I just am very fascinated with dreams and how they work. And so Morbid did a segment about it. And she's telling a story. So it's like almost a 3-minute, but it's a story. And I did clip it to kind of cut some stuff out and make it cohesive. So
if you want to hold on here, let's go. Yes. Perfect. Okay.
Okay. Now that we're all sleeping, here we go.
Yeah, your dreams. Here we go.
Remember when I told you guys that I asked people in my dream what day it was and everybody got real mad at me and it was real weird? Well, some of you have also had similar experiences with lucid dreaming. And I am so fascinated with dreams and lucid dreaming. I feel like there's something more to it that we can't understand.
I kind of think that like you go to a different realm when you're dreaming.
I kind of love that.
I think you might.
So back to the dream, I dreamt that I was working in a daycare. I've never been a daycare worker. I am but a lowly insurance agent, LOL. But I am a new employee at this daycare, but I recognize some of the faces there. No one's significant, but the one that stands out is just some random girl I worked with 2 years ago who smelled of cat pee and had clickety-clackety nails and a Jack Skellington backpack / purse for every occasion, formal or otherwise.
Huh.
I love that.
What a gal.
What a gal.
Jeez.
I realized I was dreaming, and in my dream, we were locking up the daycare and walking outside. Some employees were already almost at their car, but I was bringing up the rear with a couple of others who were showing me how to lock up. I got outside the daycare and looked around and said to the people nearby me, "What's the date and time?" The people stopped in their tracks and were like, "Why do you need to know?" At this point, I was like, "Nah, y'all bitches be shiesty." And I said very loudly, loud enough for the other people already at their cars to hear me, "Does anyone have the date and time?" And everyone stopped in their tracks and walked back to me slowly like freaking zombies or bots or some other third thing that is spooky dooky and undesirable. I looked around again and repeated at a normal volume, "What is the date and time?" At that point, the person I used to work with looked at me and their neck and head twitched to the right like a malfunctioning robot and said, "You can give me 10 push-ups for asking that."
What?
This was extra strange because this is something that would be said back at the teen camp I went to as a kid in Wyoming.
Ooh, I don't like that
I got
at all.
chills
And my
with
body
that.
did the whom.
I didn't do the push-ups. Good for you. I just challenged firmly, "Why won't anyone tell me the date and time?" One of the employees looked at a clipboard and said, "It's on the list." And another person looked at me and said, "She's not on the list."
What?
And then I woke up in a cold sweat about to piss myself.
That is spooky ooky.
What the fuck? Part of me wonders if it's a nightmare just because of having remembered what was said in the podcast. But also, I listen to spooky pods far more gruesome on the reg and never have nightmares about the content. So I feel like I just real life pissed off the simulation.
I think so.
That's what I felt.
I think so.
Because I didn't feel like it was just something seeping into my subconscious.
No.
I'm sure it seeped in for me to ask, but the response was too strange.
Oh, hey, I got it.
Spooky.
Interception. Is that the movie? Remember that movie?
Inception.
Inception. Yeah, with
Inception.
Leonardo, right?
Oh, yeah.
About dreams. That was a trip ass movie. I think I had
Oh,
dreams.
is it
that
about
movie.
dreams?
Yeah, because it's like when you hit the deep sleep
I guess
and you
they
go
go,
into maybe you should watch it again. It might make more sense. But
It's been a long
it's
time.
kind of in that same realm of just, I mean, it is some of that stuff is so real. It's unbelievable.
Hmm.
So
Have you ever had a lucid dream?
Oh man, yeah, not so much anymore, but I feel like when I was a little younger, maybe I did. Like you're just like, whoa, what was that? Even to the point where you feel like you have to call that person that was in the dream and be like, you know,
Were you just with me?
is everything good? Like, you okay? Because you know what I mean.
Dreams.
Well, I mean,
Ooh.
not necessarily bad, but it's just like, were you there? I mean, I didn't do it, but you wake up and you kind of, but right away you feel like you need to, but then you kind of like,
Yeah.
whoa, I'm just waking up. I'm in my dark room, or it's daylight, depending what time you're sleeping or whatever. But
Yeah.
yeah, I've had a few of those. I wouldn't say a lot. Maybe not as many as you, it sounds like. So
Well, I've never had a lucid dream. Like I've never realized then that I'm dreaming, because the lucid dream is basically where you know you're dreaming so you can control it and literally do whatever you want. Like it's like afraid, like you can have powers, or you can fly, or you can just see people. It's
well, I
like
mean,
you
yeah,
have
I do
control.
that every night.
Like, well, like you can control it. Like you're literally thinking like, oh, I'm in a dream right now. I'm gonna go do like, really?
Oh
Or you're
yeah,
just
man.
dreaming?
I mean, I think I don't know. I always think you can do things you can't do in a dream. That's kind of the best part of fantasy, right? But
Oh, what the heck? I'm jealous. I've never felt that way. I just dream,
well,
and
you
it's
have to
just like
have an
a day to day.
imagination. I mean, if you watch all the Marvels, or if you watch Batman growing up, like you would like to think that you could do something like that. And that was kind of the big draw to me to Batman, was that's a person. It's not a superhero. It's a guy
Right.
that put, I mean, he had a lot of money, obviously, but he put forth the effort to be trained in how to fight and do all that stuff and use the environment around him. So it's more believable, is the long
Right.
story short.
Yeah, it's like actually
All
achievable.
the
Like you can do
Marvel
it
stuff's like,
yourself.
well, man, you can make a Iron Man suit, probably could happen in the next,
Oh yeah.
20 years or
Yes.
something, but or
Mhm.
10 years, maybe, at the rate we're going. So,
Probably.
but
Probably already being
yeah,
made.
I think about, I mean, you kind of daydream and you think about that stuff. And I think when you daydream, it kind of processes into your brain, and then it kind of sits
Mhm.
there. And then maybe when you fall asleep, it kind of pushes it forward because it's allowed to.
Hmm.
Maybe how it works for
Interesting.
my brain. Maybe I'm not sure. I can't say
Maybe.
that for everybody, but
No. Huh.
I'm weird.
Well,
I'm a weird guy.
no, I like it. You have control. Like I would like to experience that, have a dream and be like, ooh, I can do whatever I want. Whereas like when I'm dreaming, I kind of just feel like I'm like almost like watching something, but also
Mm.
like I don't know. Like, have you seen like SpongeBob, where like you go inside SpongeBob's brain and there's like he's like sitting in there and he's like looking out at everything?
Yeah.
That's kind of
It's
like how
like
my dreams feel.
talking to yourself in the third person kind of thing.
I guess so. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird, but
Devin's going to have a good night tonight.
I hope so. Shoot, I'm ready to dream. Yeah, but this episode, I sent it to you. Did you listen to it?
I did, but I was kind of lost. It was like the best of reader, like it
Yeah,
wasn't
they
the
do.
show necessarily. It was kind
No.
of just okay. I was like, they're just reading stuff. I'm lost here. I don't know what's going on. So
Yeah, once a month they do listener tales and people write in stories. And so
mhm.
she had Elena had recently told a story about dreaming and about how in her dream, she asked what time and day was, and everyone in her dream like lost their shit. And so I guess this episode was about dreams and stuff. And so I just find dreams fascinating, like sleep paralysis, how everyone sees
Oh,
and feels the
mhm.
same exact thing. Like that, I just feel like that has to be something like a demon, or I don't know, like for everyone to see a person or feel them laying on top of them. I just find that fascinating.
Yeah, I never had that experience. I
Me
mean,
either,
not that
thank God.
that I know of. I mean, you sometimes feel like you're being watched, but I think that could be a little paranoia. But I don't know. I don't think I've had anything. I mean, that's the problem. Like when I do with the other show, I have that little segment, ghosts and aliens. It
Yes.
fascinates me, but I don't.
I love it.
I kind of enjoy the stories that are told to me because I don't have anything to really say to that. So anybody that's had anything like that, just I mean, even if it's minor, I mean, it's cool. I like it.
Do you believe in ghosts?
I mean, I feel like I have to, from the stuff I've heard from personal experience of people talking to me, and then you see all sorts of things. Watch Ghost Hunters, and there's
Mhm.
definitely some stuff that you can't explain. It's kind of like UFOs. I mean, I mean, yes or no? I don't know. Like it hasn't happened to me personally, but I sometimes think that sometimes, like even when my daughter was really young, she said she saw her great grandpa, and
Aw.
he's been gone. She met it was Sarah's grandpa, and he like she was a year old, I think, when she met him, and then he
Mhm.
passed away shortly after. But she was kind of talking about him, like, man, you were really young. If you can remember that, but maybe you are seeing him. So that's the kind of stuff I'm like, I can't say no.
Right. You
So
don't know for sure.
yeah.
Ooh, that's cool.
Yeah. So I guess my daughter gave me a ghost story, but the creepiest thing is like her standing in the hallway going like, "Daddy," like that freaks me out. I
No.
hate that. I'm like, I love you, kiddo, but you don't do that in the
Their
dark.
hair
Just
all
don't.
crazy.
Yeah, man.
Daddy,
Daddy. I'm like,
come
"Ah!"
here.
The little girl thing is, oh, I mean, the movie's
Why
kind of really,
is that a thing?
know.
Black haired, long haired, like children, like
oh,
no.
yeah. The movies, I think, kind of set that up, and they really played with our emotions, I feel like. So,
A little bit.
oh, here we go. Christina said, sleep paralysis is for real. Oh, such a weird. So she must be speaking to, she might have some experience with that.
If she's got a story, she should share it.
Well, I know she's on the list. She's on the short list that we have for the show. So I mentioned it.
One
it
and
to her,
two.
and yeah, I mean, I've tried to bug her for both shows, but you know,
nice.
she's a big deal. So I mean, what can you do?
Oh, she's a big deal. We'll have the fancy setup for her.
Yeah. Like, I'll send you a drink in the mail from here.
Oh, yeah.
'cause
We can all cheers.
I'll Venmo you $10 to go get yourself some cheap something off the shelf. So
Like the individual shot glasses.
Yeah,
Treat
yeah.
yourself.
travel size only. All right, let's not get
Mhm,
crazy. All right.
Settle down. You have to drive.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was good. That's a thought provoking little bit of. I mean, everyone dreams, so it's a very
Mhm.
you know, it's right in the wheelhouse of most people. So
Yeah, but everyone has a story.
yeah, for sure. Oh well. Is it? Am I up now? Is it my turn again?
Yeah, you're up. I'm
All right.
done.
Sit back and relax. I'm gonna need you to, you know, of course you gotta.
My focus is just stay focused.
This is important. Okay, so this everybody also texted me about this. The shootings we had in Tennessee a couple weeks ago,
Oh yeah, that was sad.
and it was in Nashville, which is 2.5 hours south of me, or I mean, I guess west of me technically, but I wasn't that close to it. And people were asking if I'm okay, is everything good? I'm like, yeah, man. I actually just found out about it, so I don't know much about it. So I've kind of been seeing how everything's playing out and what the news is doing, and then more so what the local people are reporting. So this is Glenn Jacobs. This is our mayor doing his weekly update on Friday nights. He goes on and does a live, kind of like what we're doing, and just gives like a 4-minute little update. But he kind of foregoed what was going on around our community because Nashville is part of Tennessee and it's all part of the same
Right.
thing. So it's a 2-parter. This first part's setting it up, and then the second part really drives it home. So we're going to hit the first part here.
Everyone. Normally in these updates, I talk about the things going on in our community. This week, we did open a new park, among other things, but it has frankly been a very dark week. On Monday, a murderer killed 6 people, including 3 9-year-olds, at a private Christian school in Nashville, before this individual was shot and killed by heroic police officers from the Metro Nashville Police Department. Then today, we woke up to the shocking news that what we thought was a gas leak at Hardin Valley Academy was apparently an intentional act. Thankfully, there were no injuries, but it was a horrifying situation nonetheless. I have great confidence in Superintendent John Ryswick and the Knox County School Security Division. The safety of our school children is a top priority for all of us, and I will work with schools, Sheriff Spangler, and the state to make sure that our children are as safe and secure as possible when they're at school.
Yeah, so the news wasn't covering, everybody was focused on the shooting stuff, but that
Mhm.
little second bit he talked about, I heard nothing about it until I heard that report. So
Me either.
so that's another thing that, I mean, our infrastructure in the United States as a whole is a very fragile thing. And a lot of people put gas meters out in front of buildings, stuff like that. So if somebody
Mhm.
comes and, I mean, does something, sabotages any of that kind of stuff, that could make, I mean, that could make the school shooting seem pretty minuscule if a building blows up, right?
Right.
And so I didn't hear about that. That was the first time I heard that when I heard that. I haven't heard anything else about it since, but that's another thing is like they always say, always kind of on the lookout. It doesn't necessarily have to be a gun to be something dangerous. Anybody doing
Yeah, what the heck?
something. Yeah. So I feel like the focus is really drawn on, obviously when gun violence happens, it's always about the gun, not about the person. But
Nope.
This one's a little different, I feel like. And then the second clip, he kind of gets into, it's funny. I mean, it's not funny, but it kind of plays into exactly how I think most people feel about this whole thing. It's very sad, and it goes at the end, goes to anger about kind of how everything kind of is stacking up on everybody. So it's a little bit longer, but I feel like it kind of tails in very nicely to the first one.
But I believe all of this speaks to an even larger problem. Parts of our society are sick. Yeah, there's a lot of good out there, and I get to see it every day. But how do we deal with individuals who have no regard for human life, including their own, even the lives of the most innocent among us? And instead of coming together as we have in the past, now during times of tragedy and crisis, society fractures even further. Instead of love and compassion, we see hatred and political exploitation. You see, it's not just about the safety of our kids at school. It's about the kind of world that they're growing up in and what that will do to them and in turn to all of us. History doesn't just happen. Decisions that we all make, however big or small, determine what course events take. Like you, my heart is heavy today. There are no words which can comfort the parents of children killed in senseless acts of violence. As a father and grandfather myself, I understand the fear and anxiety that parents feel knowing their precious children could be the targets of depraved, sick criminals. And I cannot understand how a human being could commit atrocities like this. The best I can offer is that we need to love one another more now than ever, especially those close to us. And we need to lead by example. No matter who you are, what you do, how you treat others, the value that you instill into your children has an impact right now and in the future. We can heal our world, but we can't wait for someone else to do it. It starts with each of us. May God bless all of us.
Yeah, man. I think that's a powerful message in so many levels, but I definitely, like I kind of said prior leading up to that, it's focus on the object that's the problem, and it's actually the society that's the problem. So
Yep.
yeah, what do you think? What do you got?
Well, that's a lot.
I know. Heavy. I was bringing heavy today.
I know that was heavy. But it needs to be said because I think like there's such this push to like protect the kids and this the kids and that the kids, and it's like, but nothing's ever really getting done. And like, yes, I mean, so I don't know what the statistic is as far as mental health. I mean, I guess it's all bad if they're shooting people, but for shooters, but this specific shooter was under doctor's care. And it's like, I don't know. I think mental health, there is like actually, it's funny you say this. I feel like every time I open my phone and see the news, there's like all these kid suicides across the country from bullying and from this and that. I swear, I really thought about it. I was like, I feel like I've seen so many articles about children or kid suicides. And I was like, that's alarming. Like it's too many. And that's probably not even all that we hear. That's just the ones that make the news, like the ones that are important enough. Yeah. And so I think there's definitely a mental health crisis in this country. And I don't know. And this is like, goes back to like every problem we have. It's like, I don't know what the answer is. Like healthcare, like is expensive. Like I would like to be going back to therapy. I can't afford it right now. And that's shitty. Like that's not fair. Like how, I don't know how that, I feel like that's the problem. We should be focusing on that more than we should be focusing on taking guns away, because that's not the problem. Like I don't know. There should be stricter laws for getting guns because she did get them all legally, which is part of the problem.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like she went and stole them from anybody or took them from her dad or anything like that. I mean,
no, they were hers legally bought. And so
You can have a clean background and decide to do one bad thing. That's all it takes to get to the point we're at right now. So that whole point is very mute to me, because I'm like, that's not the issue. It's the issue that you even have the thought to set it up and proceed on this path. That's the problem. So and I don't know if you noticed a lot, if you go back through history, I mean, since the Civil War, everybody's had guns, and probably more so after the Civil War. Probably more households had weapons in them for not just to defend themselves from animals and stuff, but from people, because that was kind of the, separating, kicking off part of the division, I think, because of that whole fracturing was kind of just ongoing from that point on. But I just feel like if you're the amount of drugs that are pushed, SSRIs for depression. I don't know if you ever hung out with somebody that's numb, basically. That mean they're depressed, they're just very blasé kind of thing. If that was your parent and you're a kid looking at that, it's gonna translate right across. It's gonna come across, and they're gonna feel absolutely alone.
Yeah.
If you're not engaging with your kid, going out and trying to take them to the park, or I don't know, whatever, do something, just be present with them, and that would help a lot of this loneliness that these poor kids feel. I feel like, I mean, I'm not a doctor, but, and then like you're speaking to the trying to get medical help and stuff like that. It's all a sham. It's all, if you don't have insurance, you are SOL, basically. Like, oh, sorry, man, we got to deny you care because you can't pay for this.
Right.
And well, you're charging too much for a service that's subpar at best anyways. And that's the other problem. So
yes,
my view of doctors is so skewed now. I look at them and I'm like, you're just taking an educated guess at what's going on with these people. WebMD, and it probably, when you go I'll be right back, you walk out of the room, they're probably
just
checking
punch in all those symptoms. Okay, yes, we have this one sounds correct.
Oh, it looks like you have stage 4 cancer too, because you have a headache. So you're gonna die. I don't. It's absurd to me.
Let's load us up with drugs first.
Yeah, and then I was listening to No Agenda again. This is a bit from them, but Dvorak said this is going to be an ongoing problem until they take drug advertisements off the TV. In Canada, they do not allow you to put Pfizer, any drug for depression, any of that stuff, cholesterol, diabetes. There's no drug ads allowed into the TV, into the commercials. And I saw one the other night. I was up watching a show with my wife. We're watching 1883 or whatever. We're watching it on the Paramount, paying the $4.99 because I don't want to, pay the $10 for no commercials. So we have to interrupt it with this shit. And
gotcha.
Come in, and they're reading off this drug to offset something with diabetes. If you're already taking this drug, this is another drug you can take. And then it leads off. They're going through the side effects. The side effects were longer than the actual part of the commercial telling you about it. I'm sitting there with my wife. I look over. I was like, people would actually take this in their body. Like, that makes zero sense to me. I mean, basically, it's going to kill you. That's what it sounded like to me.
Yeah, pretty much.
So that just really irked me. And I just try to be as healthy as you can. What you're doing, hitting the gym and taking responsibility for your health, is the biggest thing anybody can do.
Yep. Starts at home.
Yeah.
Starts at home, and definitely with like your family, your surroundings, because that could be a stressor in itself. But also, taking care of your body. Like,
you only have one,
Yeah, you only have one. Exactly. And it's not, with everything that we deal with, everything we're exposed to on a daily basis, like, you just have to be better. Like, I recently started taking like different vitamins and minerals and stuff just so I can feel my best. And, I don't want to take drugs for anxiety. I want to just not, I just want to feel better.
And I growing up, always made fun of hippie, like taking natural stuff and all. I was like, oh, whatever, man, So looking at it now, I mean, it's, gosh, I'm sad to say, but I'm looking at all this stuff. I'm like, yeah, well, I'll take some of that. Or it's weird, man. I know, it's funny.
You want some essential oils?
Oh, we got that. Yeah. God, what was it? My wife was making me drink something. It was
apple cider vinegar.
No, God, no. I know that it's not that. It's like an orange. It starts.
Turmeric.
Turmeric. Oh my God, it tastes like a mud puddle. It's dirt water.
It is so dirt. Bad. It tastes like dirt. Put orange juice and ginger. Yummy. Dude, I love ginger. It's my favorite.
Turmeric. She had like a little thing. It's just this orange dust that she put it in and mix it with water, condensed, so it would be a shot.
Oh, straight.
And magnesium water. I've been drinking that.
Oh, nice. I've got magnesium cream.
Yeah, for blocking the EMFs in your body and all that stuff.
Oh, interesting.
It's like, honey, the Wi-Fi, I have to have it for doing the show. So
I know. Priorities.
I don't want to block it out and then it wouldn't get in here and we drop service and the show's over. But
How cool. Oh, you are getting all geeky. I love it.
I know my wife's really, she's really going into these rabbit holes. And I'm like, hey, I mean,
oh my
this
gosh.
stuff's probably not going to hurt me as bad as taking some like cholesterol medicine or something. So
Oh,
I was
no.
like,
Oh, this stuff is natural at least. That cholesterol shit's garbage.
yeah. Like I told you that story about when I went. I just take flaxseed once a day and that seems to really help. So
Nice.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Well, if you want more stuff, liver capsules. I take that every day.
oh, really?
Like the scent is the worst thing ever, but I feel way better on it. And then I just recently started taking trace minerals
Okay.
because our water is just trash. Like it's so filtered and all the like what you're supposed to get from water is just not in it anymore.
Yeah.
And so that has a funky taste too. So I put it in my big like half-gallon water bottle the other day. So the whole day I was just like, oh, this is terrible. And then I was like, fuck this. I'm just going to take in a shot so I can just quickly get it over with. So I put it like at the very end of my coffee, just dunk it in there and finish it. So.
Oh, Christina says magnesium helps you sleep. That might be
Yes. Magnesium is like the most underrated, and I would say vitamin mineral that we are lacking.
That's a good tip. That we need that. That's the kind of stuff
magnesium.
we like right there. Yeah, hell yeah.
Look into it.
Another one, if you have like a lot of those, you know how people have those white lines kind of show up in their nails?
Oh, yeah. It's like low iron, right?
Zinc.
Oh.
Yeah, start taking a zinc supplement and that'll probably end up going away is what it sounds like. So
interesting. Hope I have
I was like my mom always said those are little white lies. I'm like, oh gosh, am I a liar?
Busted.
Oh damn. She busted me. Every time I'm like Pinocchio here, my nose isn't growing, I'm getting white lines.
That's your tell.
Not
the
okay,
Irish fingernails
man.
are questionable then.
Yeah. Oh man. All right. Well, so that was our mayor, Glenn Jacobs, talking about, and that's obviously not, he's talking about Knoxville, obviously, but the whole state of Tennessee encompasses that. So we're going to move over to Bill Lee, which is the governor of Tennessee.
Ooh.
And he has a 3-step program he's rolling out. I don't want to say it's a knee-jerk reaction, but it's nice to see action taken in some way that, agree with it or not, but something's getting done. There's money going to this issue, and I feel like this might be this is a little bit longer. I try to chop out the first half because it's a lot of words, verbiage fill and stuff, but this is the 3-step program they started and they're going to pass, and this is going to help.
Our proposal includes 3 key steps in addition to the bill that is currently before the legislature. First, I believe that we ought to have an armed security guard in every school in Tennessee. Our budget amendment will include $140 million for public schools to hire SROs and highly trained guards. With this funding, we're taking the burden off of teachers and schools and districts. There is no excuse to not have a guard at every school.
I'm going to stop right there because I like that he said, because if you heard, I don't know, after the last shooting, which I forget where it was, but anytime anything happens, they put it on, teachers can go get their concealed weapons license.
Oh,
teachers
yeah.
can do this. I'm like, no, these teachers are here to teach these kids. This is not their responsibility to go take a personal defense class. And I mean, if they want to, fine, but that should never, ever be put on the table as something that this is kind of a requirement to work here. And I don't know if they're doing that exactly, but the whole fact that that's even brought up kind of bothers me a lot because I mean, most teachers are just, they're good people that just want to help kids. That's it.
Right.
That's what they're there to do. And then I don't know that really struck a chord in me. So let's keep it going here.
Second, we will establish a grant fund to make significant physical security upgrades at both public and non-public schools all across the state. Third, we will increase funding for mental health resources.
Ooh.
Double the amount of funding that we have for our school-based mental health liaisons so that we not only have one in every county, but that we have multiple in many counties. These are the 3 pillars. These are the additions that we will add to the provisions that we've already brought forward.
That's not the end of it, but I want to stop it there too, because I don't know if you can reflect back to your days in high school, but I felt like for a whole school of, let's say 9, you're just doing high school, right? So 9
Mhm.
through 12, 400, 300 kids a class per grade. They had like a little office with maybe 2 counselors in it.
Yeah.
And that was when we were kids. And I understand maybe things are a little different now, but I don't think that's serving anybody any good. You can only see, maybe a handful of kids a day, 5 or 6 kids, maybe if
Right.
if they're having a crisis or some problem they need talking to, which they should talk to their parents would be probably a good thing too. But I mean, things happen at school that need to be resolved sometimes too. So
Right.
I kind of like that whole idea of throwing money at a problem is not necessarily the fix, and that's kind of how I feel about it. But
Mhm.
it's a start to give people the staffing and the people that want to be there and need to be there an opportunity to do that.
Right. So are counselors in high school like actual like mental health counselors? Because I thought they were just like there to help you like with school and like help you to like keep you on track.
I know which one you're talking about. Like, yeah, you need to do these classes to get into college.
Yeah.
To do this. I think there's 2 types of counselors now.
Oh, okay.
Because I think we might have had the nurse which kind of doubled as the mental, like, like I'm not feeling well, I got a headache, like here's some aspirin, kid, or whatever the case is. And
Yeah.
then, I mean, back then, if you went and said, I don't feel good mentally, I don't know what the heck they would have done. But now they kind of take that.
What does that even mean?
Yeah, they kind of handle you like a little like chicken egg. It's like, oh,
Come here,
no.
little baby. See that?
Yeah.
Come here. It's okay.
I really
Huh.
think a lot of this starts at home, and it kind of tracks back to what we talked
Yep.
about earlier. Is this people being checked out mentally? If you're engaged in your phone, you're in your computers, you're working from home, even too. Hey, kid,
Mhm.
quiet down. I'm trying to get this done.
Yeah.
I'm guilty of that. I do that sometimes, and I feel guilty after. I'm like, oh man, she just wants my attention.
Yeah.
So
I get that too.
whatever I'm doing can
I've
wait.
learned that. It's not important. This is all temporary.
Exactly. I just
So,
talked to my
she's
wife
not
about that. I
here
said,
very long.
yeah.
So
And then she's gonna be up and out of here, and then you're gonna be like, man, I wish I had more time.
like,
And
come
that's
home.
something.
Like,
Yeah,
no,
you
daddy,
yeah,
you're not cool enough.
you can never get that back. So,
Yeah.
all right. Well, we got just a couple, maybe another minute left on this, but he kind of wraps it up with a nice little bow, which I liked.
Oh, nice.
These are thoughtful, practical solutions that will enhance the safety of students and teachers immediately. But our conversations will continue. And we all agree that there is a serious conversation needed about school safety. It must begin with the recognition that we cannot control evil, but we can do something. In my State of the State address 2 months ago, I said that we will be working on this the rest of my time in office. That was the case before Covenant. It remains the case today. Our work to ensure the safety of Tennessee students and teachers will not stop. Maria and I will continue to lift these families up. We encourage you to do the same and ask that God bring peace to our state.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
I love our leadership here. It solidifies every time I hear stuff like that, what I'm doing here, because that's the kind of stuff that you feel like you can get behind. It moves you. It makes you feel something,
Mhm.
Maybe it angers some people. That's a movement too. That's a feeling. So
Right.
the stuff that I was dealing with back there just gave me anger. It gave me no good feelings. So
It's never going anywhere. It's like fucking
yeah,
circles
it's
here.
constant. Yeah, you're
Ridiculous.
just drowning. You're just treading water with not getting anything accomplished. So
Buried in trash.
yeah,
Literally.
but you're just you're getting charged more for nothing, and that was the other big part of that too. So anyhow, yeah, that's kind of anybody was kind of getting a hold of me trying to figure out what was going on, and I found those couple clips, and I felt like that was kind of a nice way of putting it. Like there's some stuff that's going to happen and things are going to change the best we can. I like that you can't stop evil, but you can start playing some offense.
Oh, yeah. That was beautiful. I love it.
Awesome. All right.
Well, I'm glad your state's doing something about it, man. It's just like, oh, it's kind of falling apart and dirty. Let's just give them more money.
Oh boy. Well, I had
Let's give
some,
the
so
homeless
that kind of
money.
came across my desk late. I had some Oregon stuff. I was going to do the Tennessee and Oregon thing, but then that Bill Lee thing came across. I was like, oh boy, that's going to tail in nicely. So
Yeah.
next week I'll have kind of a kudos for Oregon. Actually, I'm
A
gonna say,
kudos for
yes,
Oregon?
something happened that I'm going to have to say Tina Kotek did a good job.
Whoa.
It hurt a little bit.
My ears. Ouch.
Yeah, I mean,
I am triggered. I'm very fucking triggered.
For reals. Fucking triggered. How dare you say those words?
I know. I should
I'm
have.
very fucking triggered.
It's a teaser. It's a teaser for next time.
Okay. Well, you'll have your teaser, and I'll do something Biden because I'm interested in what he's doing.
Oh, well.
Very fascinated with what he's doing. So, is it that time, everybody?
It is that time, everybody. We're at the end of the show, but we got day in history before we all get out.
I'll do like a little quick day in history. Okay, so in 2009, two things actually happened on this day. Today is April 6th. We're doing today's history.
Okay.
First, an earthquake struck near Italy, causing extensive damage and killing more than 300 people.
Oof.
I can try to pronounce this city. La Aquila?
Italy. I like it. I know where that's at.
Italy. Yeah, it's in Italy. And also in that day, American basketball player Michael Jordan, maybe you've heard of him,
Yes, I have.
widely considered the game's greatest all-around player, was elected to the my reading skills. I think Ira is a better reader than I am. Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame.
We're gonna have to check with Jaco on that. I'm. It sounds right. Just say Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame.
Basketball Hall of Fame. Brr, 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 brr.
What year was that?
2009.
Jeez.
So I feel like that's not that long ago, but
That's
I
a
don't
long
know.
time ago.
I guess so. 2003. I guess 12 years. No, 14. No, 14. No, I'm done. I can't do math. Wait. I don't want to go down like an idiot.
Yeah.
I think it is 14. I think I'm right. I'm really witty, you guys. Just keep on your toes.
You figure it out. You do the math.
Yeah, you do the math. I'm doing this right now. I'm busy. Make yourself useful, somebody.
Oh, jeez. 14. There you go. Christina pulls through for
Yes, I
you
was
were
right.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel really good about numbers. That's my strong suit. Okay,
Oh, man,
so in 1980, the American company 3M began selling Post-it notes in U.S. stores. The small pieces of paper with adhesive strips became hugely popular. Maybe you've used one in your lifetime.
Yeah, they taste terrible.
What are you eating? Post-its?
You lick them, stick them.
Like them? That's what she said. All right, now I know which
Is that the show title? Did I just go with the show title?
Yes. Lick it and stick it. I love it.
Lick them to stick them.
I love it. Okay. That's fantastic. There's something. Oh, in 1947, the Tony Awards were presented for the very first time. Notable winners include actress Ingrid Bergman, playwright Arthur Miller, and director Elia Kazan. Elia Kazan. So the Tony Awards. So the Tony Awards are Broadway, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
They still do those?
Yeah.
Oh.
And then I think someone can look it up, but if you get a Tony, a Grammy, and an Oscar, I think it is, like the trifecta, that's even like a whole thing. So.
Oh, man.
I'm working on it.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, you're going to be the ET entertainment desk here before too long.
Don't even tell me with a good time. It's actually funny. So my dad and I were talking, and you know Morgan Wallen?
Yeah.
The singer. Yeah. He's my age. And I was like, oh, he's my age. And so I told my dad, I was like, that could have been me. I could have been a famous country star. And he was like, I'll be your biggest fan. I was like, you give me my guitar, my lead guitarist. Because my dad likes to play guitar casually, not like but you know, can strum a few songs. So
sure,
that's my dream one day. I'm still working on it.
You can play us a song anytime, I would say.
Oh yeah, I'll open the show one day with a symphony.
Well, yeah, you have the
Imagine
recording stuff. You can plug an electric guitar into that board and then use that mic and sing us an intro song of some sort.
I do want to learn ukulele and sing myself stuff. So,
well,
maybe by the end of the year I'll get on my ukulele. I've been on my Spanish at least. I'm working on it.
Carlos,
oh my gosh.
Carlos is like, what kind of Post-it note are you using?
No, see, I know. I'll lick it and stick them. Funny side story about my Spanish. There's these Mexican ladies that come to the job sites every day for lunch. And I was pulling out as she was pulling in. And so I had to back up to let her in. And she like pulled up to me. She's like, oh, gracias. And I was like, oh, de nada. And she was like, oh, ¿tú hablas español? And I was like, poquito. And she was like all excited and started to go, and I was like,
my gosh.
Muy
Open
poquito.
up the door.
I know. So she's like, noches, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, Gracias.
Like, that's the extent of my knowledge of the language.
Yeah, I'm like, I can greet people and that's about it. But I'm pretty
Jeez.
sure she offered me like a free lunch maybe. And I was just like, oh, gracias, thank you. So, but it was pretty funny. Like when I said the nada, how excited she got. I also had a deaf lady come buy something for me. And I know a little bit of sign language. So I was signing to her. She was like, oh, like Christmas morning to the trilingual people. So that's pretty funny.
Oh, Christina says boycott those stupid elitist shows. I agree. That's kind of where I'm at.
Oh, like ET and stuff?
No, like the awards and all that, the global.
Oh, I don't watch it. I don't care.
I used to.
Unless
I
it's
used to
country,
really.
then I care.
I don't even. That whole thing got corrupted too. But I don't know if you noticed or not. But my wife mentioned this the other day. George Strait has never gone to the CMT Awards, and he never will. That's enough. That's enough for me to realize. Like, yeah, he was probably smart about all that stuff before. It was,
I mean, it's all. Yeah, I mean, it's not real. It's just fake. It's all political. It's all part of. It's part of the.
Yeah.
What is it? It's all fake. Yeah, I can't remember the word I'm thinking.
I get it. I know where you're going with it. Yeah. It's near the end here. We had an hour of your whole focus, so you're toast. It's bedtime.
I'm only good for an hour, you guys, and then I'm
yeah. She's gonna turn into a pumpkin here any minute.
and carry on really fast. Okay, we'll finish off with for Christine, some celebrity birthdays. Paul Rudd is 53 today.
Oh my gosh.
I love Paul Rudd.
Yep.
He's still dreamy. Todd Chrisley, who's in prison right now, is 53. Happy birthday from jail. And then if you are a Walking Dead fan, where did he go? What's his name? Oh, Michael Rooker is 67.
Is that the main character?
No, he was in the first season.
Oh my gosh.
I know. Oh, he was in a couple seasons, but he's the one that like lost his arm, lost his hand. They chained him to like the rooftop and then they left him there. So he like sawed his arm off so that zombies wouldn't get him. And then he like comes back and he's like a brother. Isn't he the long haired guy's brother?
Oh, is it Dale?
Maybe.
Darius's brother? That's what Christina says.
Darius's brother?
Dude, I haven't watched
Merle Dixon.
Ah, okay.
Merle. He's
It's been a long time. I watched like the first couple seasons and then it just kind of started repeating itself. It was like, well, this is kind of the same.
Oh, it's the same thing every season. Yeah.
I was like, it's like a horror movie. They do stupid shit that gets them into trouble. I'm like, don't do that. That's gonna get you. Oh, look at you're dead. Shocking.
Well, it's kind of like the synopsis of every show. Like bad communication and stupidness is what is TV nowadays. So you just don't do that. And if you told the truth, this whole show would be useless.
That's kind of the beauty of what Taylor Sheridan is doing with all his 1883, 1929, and Yellowstone, all those shows. He actually started a new one. Remember Jimmy? We talked about Jimmy on the show.
Yeah.
He's doing a 666 Ranch spinoff of the Yellowstone. Because remember how he got sent to the ranch to be a cowboy?
Oh, yeah. Satan's Ranch.
And he ended up going back there and marrying that girl. So he kind of disappeared from Yellowstone. Oh, wait. Is this a spoiler? Have you not watched this yet?
Where is that on?
Yellowstone.
When did they get married? On Yellowstone they got married?
Yeah, Jimmy and his lady that he met at the ranch, the vet.
Yeah, I know that they got married.
I'm pretty sure. Or they're going to get married. They're engaged. One of the two. Anyways.
Oh, I think they're engaged. Yeah. Oh,
but he's like, I'm going back. He was welcome back to the Yellowstone, but he decided to go back where his girl was and worked at that ranch. So now they're doing probably going to do a 10 episode series off of that. Yeah, it just came out, I think like a week ago. I saw that come across. I'm like, oh yeah.
Interesting. And it's called 666 Ranch.
Yep. And it had a picture of Jimmy on the horse and it had the ranch behind him, all the red barns and all that stuff. So very exciting.
Finally, some good news or good TV. We are just like have nothing. Love is Blind. Have any Love is Blind people? The season's kind of trash.
How dare you go from a good show to that?
Oh, I know. It's my like it's just
my
raunchy TV that I love. I just love it.
Get out of here with that. Ugh, Love is Blind.
Sorry. I bet someone listening watches that show.
All right. She's getting delirious, everybody. We better wrap this thing up. Let's close out this show. Devin.
Sorry. Peace out, Biggins.
Hey, Devin. Have a good one.
want to get going because I keep you here too long because you know all what I've said, and you know what I've done, and you know what we're doing, and I know what you're doing.
Mother trucker, dude. That hurt like a butt cheek on a stick.
Classic.
Oh yeah, a little classic Goofy, man. Everybody can relate to that. So,
Hell yeah, dudes.
oh my gosh, you're out of control. You're on timeout. We're gonna have to
entertained.
have an off-screen meeting about bringing up that kind of garbage show.
I bet your wife would like to watch it.
No, man, she's sitting there watching, not right now, but Grey's Anatomy. The old
Oh, there you go. Sorry, what?
Grey's Anatomy. Did you ever watch that crap?
I'm starting to rewatch it.
That's what she's doing. She's going back through all. Almost like I walk up
Oh, wait,
there.
she's
Like,
watching from the beginning.
I think she started from the beginning.
Can't commit. 19 seasons, dude. I mean, shit. I'm fucking
the
down.
same
She wants to
dumb
do that.
shit over and over. I've come in through the room when she's up there watching. I'm like, is this the same episode or is this a new one? Because it's just
I think Ari said that one time.
Oh, my
Wait,
dear.
I said that about something. Yeah. I was like, no,
It's so terrible.
I was watching Bridesmaids. We were all watching Bridesmaids downstairs, and then they left to go do something, and then they came back, or Brandon came back by himself. Yeah. Oh, he took Ari to Susan's. So he came back and he was like, "Are you still watching Bridesmaids?" Because it was the same characters, but it was that other movie where they go to like the wine tasting thing, the winery. It's like all those girls do, like Adam Sandler does it with his friends. Like all these girls make movies together. He's like, "You're still watching this? It's still on?" I was like, "No, it's a different thing, but it's the same."
I mean, that's okay. I sit there and watch Gold Rush, and I.
See, we have to watch that stupid shit. Well,
I get it. That's why I didn't bring it up. You know, it's kind of a deal. I understand. I don't know why.
It's a give and take. It's true love right there.
Same thing. They're digging the holes and getting gold. So I mean, it's like I fall asleep to it more than I watch it. Yeah, look at that. I'm just waiting for them to find a nugget the size of my head one day. That's kind of what I'm
I
hoping
want them to find something cool. They don't ever find anything cool. They're just like,
no, they found
could be something like this, and it could lead to something else.
This year they found a mastodon bones, like the tusks and stuff like that. So they had to call out an archaeologist to come out. And
That's pretty
dig
cool.
it out. Yes, that was cool. I mean, that was up there in Canada. So up in the Klondike. That's where they were. It's cold, so cold up there. Ugh. All right, Devo. Let's shut down the stream here. We can do a little chit chat off the air. But
talk shit about these guys.
Hey, Carlos and Christina, thanks for participating in the show. We really appreciate it.
Yes.